Dear Aquarist, today again with the background of the Amazon, with a few uh, boats where we were traveling around and collecting some fish from the Amazon. These kind of small cruise boats are very convenient for small groups of people, and the people of the Piaba project are very worthwhile to make a voyage with in the river systems, collecting fish in beautiful nature and with some guidance from experts. I did it 3 times. I can really recommend. So also today I talk about a fish which comes from the Amazon, which is the checkerboard cichlid, the Dicrossus. And that's why it's so nice to present you this background to talk meanwhile about a fish that comes from that region. So the Dicrossus with a bacterial infection is case number 90, which I will talk about today. You can see them here in the aquarium, that some of those checkerboards or the Dicrossus filamentosa, which is the species here, are becoming skinny. Only few, you will see them here in the back. They're getting also a little bit darker, and some died over the last couple of weeks when they arrived. So something was bothering them. So here we examined them. They were still in the glass bowl. So we could still, they were still active. There was a heavy respiration, so something was bothering them. Of course, this fish is stressed in this little cup. But when we observe them from the top, you can see how slender the back of the body is, and that the body is not fully well formed, and that the respiration activity of the fish is very rapidly. So somewhere the gill seems to be suffering, the fish is skinny. So we sacrificed one of the weaker fish to learn or to teach us lessons, how we can take care of the whole batch of fish. And there were about 1,200 fish who arrived. So I can tell you, it's worthwhile to examine one fish who is dying anyway and to sacrifice it as a sacrifice for his community. So we found in the gills that the gills were very bad. Look, those are not nice, beautifully formed gills and filaments. And in one gill arch, we found one copypod. Was it by accident? Was it an infection? We could not tell. It sometimes happens. That's just one copypod is just attached to the gills. So we could not identify the species, but one copypod we found, just to mention to you. It's not always a disease if there would be a few and if it would be serious damage, but the main damage, I can tell you, we found was like these damages here, that this bad lamellas molded together and here disappeared. And here also, this part is very bad. Here it's nearly gone also. Those are most likely due to bacterial infections. And also we check the internal organs. We see here some deformations in the liver, and we see here the spleen with a lot of melanomacrophages and like blood clots. So these organs are not well formed and deformed and malfunctioning. So causing a fish to become weak, not eating well, becoming skinny, and then of course getting secondary bacterial infections, or this is might be already the primary bacterial infection. So here more parts of the organs I show you here, and also we found one nematode in one part of the liver. It was just one. Well, knowing it's a wild fish, then you can understand that most of the wild fish can carry a nematode or another Cercaria or diagenetic trematode. And if it's only one, well, the fish can live with it. It will not die unless it's a very big worm. But most of the fish can survive a long time with some worms, as long as not too many, and as long as there are conditions in the aquarium and the food is well kept in order. So what can you do as a treatment here for this kind of problem? Well, you have to understand that the origin might be the collection, the stress around the transport, acclimation, and other stress factors, and maybe a poor immunity due to all these stress factors, and not having the adequate feed, that the fish is weakened. And then, of course, when it's weakened, well, the first thing we can do is trying to repair the fish, to restore the immune system, so that the fish can be helped. You can help him by that he fights off the bacterial infection or the secondary bacterial infection. Those things you can do with a fish food. And that's why we developed the Dr. Bassleer biofish food, Fuco, or the grapefruit seed extract with moringa, or the professional care. Those are all fish feed that help the fish restoring the immune system and to repair itself. An antibacterial treatment, like I showed you that the gills were partially damaged and the organs, might be necessary when more problems arise in the aquarium and more fish start to suffer. So this can help. But first try the fish food. That could already solve the problem as long as you keep the fish in the best condition because they look active and healthy. So they're well eating. And if they eat well, the food can be a good way of repairing and helping the fish and avoiding the use of an antibiotic. So this was another case. And like I tell you on my Patreon, for the VIPs on the Patreon, you have weekly new cases you can watch there. And you can watch my training on fish diseases. So this is something I presented for you today on the Dicrossus filamentosa, the checkerboard cichlid, very pretty cichlid. Can arrive with problems, and here I give you some guidance how you can solve the problem. Thank you for watching.